Congratulations, this is the final act of Ninja Gaiden 3. I don't know about you, but I didn't think I'd make it this far. Ignore the dead screen, that's me making a spare save slot. And shit be fucked. I mean, there is a giant crustacean made of purple in front of me. And it looks like it's going to spear something if it doesn't explode. And I think it just nuked Japan. Yes, this is the new age of chaos. Gotta love those traps. First thing you'll notice here is there is a permanent fucking breeze blowing you back. Yeah, I kinda hoped I was done with that shit after the first game. And yeah, the death traps are fairly common here. There's a lot of situations where if you fuck up once, you're gonna die. Here especially because you take a hit with the breeze just before anything, you're dead. If you're a perfectionist like me, you're gonna die an awful lot. So, not much you can do about it, really. I mean, aside trying not to get gangbanged to death by flying helicopter robots, which is an admirable goal to have in life, really, don't get me wrong. I can't imagine anyone who, were they to think of this sort of thing, and I would certainly question why they were doing that, wouldn't have that as a goal in life. And yeah, this is not going well for me. At all. Ever. I think this is the part where I actually shut down and refused to believe there was anything on the screen. Kind of just being slowly blown backwards by the wind is, kind of a metaphor for me playing this game. And that commander there was just utterly suicidal. Now you can see how kind of bullshit this game gets by the time you get up to Act 7. I mean, seriously, 2 fucking destroyer droids out of Star Wars, a pair of, helicopter robots doing whatever the fuck they feel like. And, this is just 7-1. There's still a fuckload more to go. And it's bullshit. I mean, seriously. There is no other way to describe a lot of this crap. It's just bullshit. And yeah, that bit there is a death trap. Get hit on the wrong way, you're gonna die. You'll just get knocked back into the ground. And it's a long way down, if there is actually even a ground to, land on. This point hasn't been clarified with me yet. Sooner or later I'll get this right. Yeah, good enough. You can sort of see the acrobatics required to do okay at this point. And yeah, fuck that, I'm running. You also notice the timer just sort of clacking its way slowly down. And and yes, those electricity bits will kill you if you... Well, they won't kill you, but they'll knock you down, and the time limit on this stage is exceedingly tight. You cannot afford to waste any real time. I think that's the most pumpkin heads we've seen in one screen in most of the game. And yeah, I really shouldn't have to explain how bullshit this stage is. Because holy shit is it bullshit. And just look at this shit. I'm running out of words to describe how bullshit this game can get. And it turns out they didn't entirely fix the respawn problems in this game. In certain sections you drop down, the enemies still do respawn. This is one of them. And that serves me right for trying to be fancy when I didn't need to be. You can see how much health the electricity takes off right from the start. And yeah, just, I've got nothing witty to say at this point. Aside from, you know, something about purple helicopters, maybe. Who the fuck paints their death copters purple? I mean, aside from iVolt. And yeah, at this point you can pretty much see me saying fuck this to the idea of doing it properly. Because this game really doesn't play fair. And you see right there me taking damage without actually being hit. The hitbox on the soldiers is a little bit off. That's a new type of enemy right there. It's invincible except when it's firing at you. So, fuck that enemy. Going to the top-down special weapon now. It's really useful in this stage. And the glowing electricity is kind of hypnotic. These fucking enemies, on the other hand, of which there seem to be an infinite fucking supply. I mean, Dr. Robotnik's got shit on these guys. And no, the dodgy hitbox is a real death trap just here, because you can actually be knocked to death by those bullets without touching them. And, you know, yeah, oh, it's not that you don't touch them, it's that the hitbox is decidedly inconsistent, and that you cannot climb up high enough to be completely safe. You have to, you'll see what I'm trying to do in a minute here, you have to vault upwards like that. Pray you don't take too much damage doing it. And try to kill that thing before the white copters of death, which, you know, makes a nice change from the usual UN black helicopters, decides to skull fuck you into oblivion. Well, I suppose arse fuck, because they are coming at you from behind. And the inevitable jumping puzzle with the goddamn electricity, which has no audible cue that you've been hit a lot of the time, and doesn't really knock you back properly, so it's very easy to just be clipped by it, not realise. And yeah, this is where the trial and error part of the game comes into things. You try to leap across, you will get clocked by the cipher coming down, and if you don't try and leap all the way across, like make a half leap, you won't make it. So the trick here is actually, which I worked out eventually, this is a blind run of Act 7, is, yeah, to goad it back into you so you can take a clean jump with this guy down here. And avoid the satanic frogmen, which is not a sentence I ever thought I'd be uttering very often. Yeah. And yeah, this game gets fucking sadistic in places, but you've already seen that, you know what I'm on about. And more electricity. More scythers. The centerpiece of a fucking machine gangbang right here. Jenna Jameson, he is not. Probably get paid better if he was. Laid better as well. And yeah, you can see the absolute pain in the arse factor of those little bastards. Because you can only actually kill them as they're firing. Which, you know, is kind of bullshit. That and the fact they look like a deformed bird of some sort isn't helping things. I mean, seriously, they look like one of the duck-billed enemies out of Sonic when they open their mouth. And yes, I am perfectly willing to exploit the game engine to get ahead. It's the Australian way. Also the American way, the African way, the European way, and the Asian way. I think I've missed something there, but who gives a shit. And at this point, my thought process can be summed up as: fuck this guy, fuck this game, fuck the guy who invented it, fuck the guy who approved the project, fuck the guy who invented the system. Just may Satan fuck each and every person who was involved in the creation of this game. Because if he doesn't, no one will. and it deserves to happen. The only plus side to this level is that they give you enough pickups that you can afford to run your special weapons more or less constantly, which you need to because, well, you know what I mean.